Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. Today we're looking at a wide range of stories from around the world. Let's start with the international headlines. We have several significant developments, including the ongoing situation in the Middle East, where Israel and Lebanon are extending their ceasefire despite new Israeli strikes, according to U.S. officials. This comes amidst complex diplomatic efforts involving various countries, including the United States, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. In other news, a former U.S. Air Force counterintelligence specialist, Monica Witt, who defected to Iran in 2013, is now the subject of a $200,000 FBI reward for information leading to her capture and prosecution. Witt was indicted on charges of espionage, including transmitting national defense information to the Iranian government. Meanwhile, in the UK, Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing mounting pressure to resign after his party's disappointing performance in the recent local and regional elections. This has been compounded by controversy over his judgment, particularly regarding his appointment of a friend of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein to a significant role. On a different note, the international community is also marking an important day today, May 17th, as it is International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. This day aims to raise awareness about the discrimination and violence faced by the LGBTQ+ community worldwide, and to promote equality and human rights for all. Lastly, in more uplifting news, Bulgaria has taken the top spot in the 70th Eurovision Song Contest with their song Bangaranga, bringing joy and celebration to fans across Europe. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're continuing our coverage of international news, and now we turn our attention to the Middle East, where a significant development has taken place in Palestinian politics. The son of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, Yasser Abbas, has been elected to the top leadership body of Fatah, the dominant party in the Palestine Liberation Organization. This move is seen as a potential step towards succession planning, with the 86-year-old President Abbas seeking to reassure world powers about the future of Palestinian leadership. Yasser Abbas, a 64-year-old businessman who spends most of his time in Canada, has been gradually emerging on the political scene, having been appointed as his father's special representative around 5 years ago. The election results also saw other notable figures secure seats on Fatah's Central Committee, including jailed Fatah leader Marwan Barghouti, who topped the preliminary results, and former militant group leader Zakaria Zubeidi, who was freed from Israeli prison in 2025 under a prisoner exchange deal with Hamas. The three-day Congress, which drew over 2,500 voters, was seen as an opportunity for Fatah to reform and revitalize its leadership, amid mounting international pressure to implement reforms and hold long-delayed presidential and parliamentary elections. The Palestinian Authority has faced widespread accusations of corruption and political stagnation, which have eroded its legitimacy among Palestinians. As we analyze this development, it's essential to consider the complexities of Palestinian politics and the challenges facing the region. The Israeli-Palestinian peace process has been stagnant for years, with expanding Israeli settlements and growing public frustration over the lack of progress. We must also acknowledge the concerns surrounding Yasser Abbas's business dealings and allegations of corruption, which have been raised by critics in the past. It's crucial to approach this story with a nuanced perspective, recognizing both the potential benefits of leadership transition and the need for transparency and accountability. As we move forward, it will be essential to monitor the developments in Palestinian politics and their implications for the region. We'll continue to provide you with in-depth analysis and updates on this story as more information becomes available. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. As we wrap up today's show, we're taking a closer look at the latest developments in the global oil market. The Trump administration has allowed a waiver that encouraged more Russian crude sales to lapse, despite concerns about tight market conditions and higher fuel costs. According to reports from Bloomberg and the Financial Post, the expiration of this waiver effectively ends a brief period where the administration eased sanctions on some Russian oil, enabling purchases that would otherwise be barred. The move has been met with controversy, particularly among European allies who see sanctions as essential to starving Russia of crude revenue and depriving Moscow funding for its war in Ukraine. On the other hand, countries such as India and Indonesia had lobbied the Trump administration for extended sanctions waivers, citing the impact of the Iran war and the near closure of the Strait of Hormuz on global oil supplies. The U.S. government has taken several steps to tame the impacts of the energy shock, including allowing foreign vessels to carry crude and other commodities between American ports through mid-August and temporarily waiving some domestic fuel specifications. As we consider the implications of this decision, it's clear that the global oil market is facing significant challenges. With Brent crude surging since the Iran war began, driving higher prices for gasoline, diesel, and other products made from it, consumers around the world are feeling the pinch. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one thing is certain: the world will be watching closely as the situation continues to unfold. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged!